it's that time again where we do a monthly wrap up, and this one is for March. Hey everyone, it's Rose and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my March reading wrap up, so it's going to be all the books I read this month. I had a lot of 5 stars, which I'm very excited to talk about, so let's just dive straight in. First up, you'll see this author every few months in these wrap-ups. I did reread 4 Derek Landy books, so we're going to go over those quickly because I've talked about the Skullduggery Pleasant series enough on my channel. So originally, I started off by rereading the most recent book in the series, Mindful of Murder. I of course rated this 5 stars. It's really fun. Definitely not my favourite in the series, but it's still so new to me that I'm getting so much enjoyment out of reading it the first few times. This series is great, guys. You've heard about it enough. Go read it. Then I decided to read The Grimoire, which is like a bunch of extra information throughout the series. Of course, this was 5 stars. Again, talked about it so much. It was so good. But then I did decide to go back and reread from book 10 onwards because I don't know, I don't know why I started on the last book thinking I would just reread 1 and not have to go back further. So the reason I started from book 10 is because I've read books 1 to 9 so many times. That is phase 1 of the series and I've been reading them for years. So I know them off by heart pretty much. So I reread book 10, which is Resurrection. Again, 5 stars. This is when we start dealing with some deeper topics. I think the first few books would be considered middle grade in this series and then it goes to young adult. But as the characters mature, we start talking about deeper and darker things. There's a lot of mental health talk in this, which I really appreciated when I was younger and I appreciate just as much now. And then of course we have Midnight, my least favorite in the series by far, but it's 5 stars because everything in this series is 5 stars. Yeah. Really good. Now we've got that out of the way, let's talk about the new books that I read, and I'm really excited to talk about all of these. First up, a book that was in my 24-hour readathon, and it was a 5 star. We have Pen Pal by J.T. Geisinger. This book is absolutely insane. I've never read anything like it before, and I've read over 1,000 books since I got back into reading in 2020, and this, I never knew where this was going at any second. If you want to see like my in-depth reactions, but spoiler free, it is over on that 24-hour readathon that I think's, is it the most recent video on my channel before this one? I don't know, but it's definitely out by now. So if you want to see that, click there. This is about a woman whose partner, her husband, dies, and then she starts getting letters addressed from a guy in prison saying like, I'll wait forever for you if I have to, like, you're mine. And she's like, I've never met this guy in my life before. You will never guess where this book is gonna go. I thought I'd guessed it because I thought I'd seen a spoiler on TikTok, so I was like picking up all these hints. No, I had it wrong. I had it so wrong. Even with what I thought was a spoiler, I had it so wrong. This is absolutely insane, and the 5 stars was for the insanity, not because this is the best written thing ever, and I absolutely hate the cover, but oh my god, the cover's so deceiving. It is like a mystery thriller, there is romance in it, there's a little bit of everything, there's other genres in here too that I don't want to tell you because I don't want to give anything away. It's so good. Then we've got Redemption by Jack Jordan, which I ended up rating 3 stars. I love Jack Jordan's writing. This one was a little bit of a miss for me, but it was still really interesting. So we followed this woman whose son was killed in like a car hit him when he was on a school trip. I think it was a drunk driver, and now we're following her years later when this guy has been released from prison and she wants to go and get revenge because her son did pass away, and she spent all these years that he was in prison like trying to figure out how she's gonna get a revenge when he gets out. So we follow her point of view, we follow her husband's point of view, who is like, I don't want my wife to do this, but if I try and stop her, I'd be protecting the guy that killed my son. So it's like his internal battle, and then we also get the point of view of the guy that's escaped from prison. It was really interesting. I don't know, I just didn't like it as much as his other books. It felt a little bit flat in a few places, but it was still good and I would still recommend. Then we have one that I thought was going to be a 5 stars, but actually wasn't. It was still a 3, but this is The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulak. Jason Rekulak is the author of Hidden Pictures. I'm sure you've seen that book before. It was a 5 star for me, so I was really excited to see what he did with more of a thriller than a horror. And it just felt really slow for a thriller. A lot of descriptions, like over describing stuff. I did like some of the stuff going on, but it just felt like there's so much set up. There was so much where nothing really happened till like, I feel like over halfway through the book, if not more, yeah, like 250 pages maybe. And this is only like under 350 pages. So I really do feel like a lot of it was really slow. I'm not going to tell you the plot of this one because it's very unique and I don't know how I'd describe it without spoiling things. I'd give it a read if you're looking for more of a mystery because it's slower than thrillers usually are. We got another 5 star, guys. I tried to film this video ends when I find a 5 star read, and I picked up Out on a Limb and it was the first book I read and it was a 5 star. So when I refilmed that video, it did not have this one in it. So if you're gonna watch that video, I didn't just spoil the ending for you, don't worry. This is by Hannah Bonham Young. I'm gonna get emotional if I talk about this too much in depth. The disability representation in this is what sold it for me because obviously all representation is very important, but specifically like loss of limbs and limb differences and stuff is so important to me. My mum has one arm, so when I see that kind of representation, it just fills my heart with so much love. And the author's note in this book made me sob. It is so good. It is magical. So our main girl has a limb difference in her arm and her hand mainly, and then the guy has a prosthetic leg, and they have a one-night stand and then she finds out she's pregnant, and so they're trying to figure out how to like co-parent as friends, maybe as more than friends, but they don't want to. She doesn't want to be more than friends because what happens if they get together and then break up? What is that going to do to the baby, kind of thing. It was so beautiful and I loved the side characters so much. I picked up their book that's just released, Out on the Woods, and I will be reading that in April because I need more. Hannah Bonham Young is quickly becoming one of my favourite authors and I've only read one of her books. That is how good this is. Then we have Sinners Anonymous by Tom Sketcher, which I rated 3.5 stars. This was a mafia romance. The Sinners Anonymous is an anonymous hotline where people confess their sins. And it's following our main girl who's in an arranged marriage. Is about to marry like this old man in the mafia. She really doesn't want to, but she's got reasons to, which you find out as you go along. And then the guy's nephew is catching her eye. I don't know. It was nothing crazy. It was good. It was not great. Then I reread Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Originally when I read this, it was a 4 stars, but upon reread, I've bumped it up to a 4.5. This is book 2 in the Empyrean series, the sequel to Fourth Wing. I'm sure you already know. Fantasy, romance, dragons, world building, politics. I love it. Then we've got another 5 stars. I told you it was heavy on the 5 stars this month. We've got Butcher and Blackbird by Brim Weaver. A rom-com where they're both serial killers. It's a dark rom-com. The list of triggers is what got this book famous. Not what got it famous, but like what me and a lot of other people on Book Talk saw it for originally was what the hell is going on with these trigger warnings and content warnings. And let me tell you, I was not prepared for that. I'm obsessed with this book. I was like 50 pages in and immediately bought the other 2 books in the trilogy. Those will be getting read in April as well. This was so unique. It's 2 serial killers and they decide to meet up once a year. They get told just a place to go where there is a serial killer because they're serial killers, but they only kill bad guys, specifically bad serial killers. But like just bad guys in general, so like they're morally righteous serial killers, and they get told a random location by the guy's brother and they have to go there. They have to figure out who the killer is and then kill them, and whoever kills them wins once a year. And it is so grotesque. I was giggling, kicking my feet one sec, and then gagging at how gruesome it is. You have to go into it knowing that it is a dark book, but it is also so funny and so good. Oh my god. Then we have my current read. I'm actually 100 pages off the end of this book, and so far it has been a 5 stars the whole way through. So I don't have an official rating for you, but like realistically it will be a 5 stars. We have Mile High by Liz Tomford. I've been so scared to read this book because it's like nearly 600 pages, I think. Yep. I want more. I don't want this book to end. It is so good. The romance is so good. The found family that I can already see building for future books is so good. The complex talks about mental health and body image and stuff like that makes this book so much more than a romance. The plus size rep is, it fills my heart with love. It makes me feel so confident about myself, and the anxiety representation makes me feel seen too. I relate to both these characters in very different ways and I love them so much. But yeah, I haven't finished it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 5 stars. And those are all the books. How many was that? 12. So less than I normally read, but like so many more 5 stars than I normally get. So one of my best months so far, one of my best months in a long time. Let me know what you read this month. Let me know if you read anything I did, and if you did, what did you rate them? We'll be posting my April TBR soon, and I've also got a couple videos to edit and post that are going to be really fun, some really fun reading vlogs, so just stay tuned. If you'd like to see more from me, please be sure to like and subscribe as I post new videos every single week. Click the notification bell down below to be notified when I upload, and I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you in another video. Bye!